Hey everybody, Shane Presley here with Rock Paper Podcast to tell you about my friends Music Record Shop. Check them out, 4191A Manchester Avenue in the heart of the Grove, right between the demo and the Ready Room. This Friday they've got brand new records coming in from Rush, All Them Witches, Tim McGraw, Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, Lindsey Sterling, the Star Wars Complete soundtrack, Straight Outta Compton soundtrack, all kinds of stuff coming in this week. So get down there, pick up some brand new records. They've got tons of great used and new vinyl and CDs and tapes. If you go down there on Friday, they got free beer from Four Hands Brewery and 10% off any new purchase. So, go down and check them out. Follow them online, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, musicrecordshop.com.
Hey, this is Al Holliday, and you're listening to the Rock Paper Podcast.
Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast, y'all.
I eat more cornbread than you ever see. I eat more cornbread than you ever see. I eat more cornbread than you ever see. Said I'm a natural man, the way I like to be. Working in a prison on Route 66. Working in a prison on Route 66. Working in a prison on Route 66. Sure ain't no way to make a living. Sure ain't no way to get your kicks. Well, I'm coming right home today. I just gotta find my natural way. I'm coming back. I'm gonna find me to my feet. But when I sit down to the table, I'm as hungry as a man can be.
Hey everybody, Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast, coming to you from, is this the Hill or Tower Grove?
This is the Hill.
The Hill, yeah, okay. I knew we were right there. I wasn't sure exactly where the line's at, but so we're hanging out on the hill with Al Holliday of Al Holliday and the East Side Rhythm Band.
Yes, sir. Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey man, I'm very excited. Special guest appearance for my mother, Debbie. She's hanging out here. We're going out tonight after after the show. We're going up to see Samantha Fish and Delta Soul Revival at Old Rock House. So
Can't wait for that.
Yeah. But yeah, come down here to hang out with Al and talk about this brand new album, Natural Remedies, and just catch up and see what's happening with you, man. So let's start with. So you born and raised here in St. Louis, or?
That's right. I was born and raised in St. Louis area. I was born. I grew up on the Illinois side in Collinsville, Illinois. Went to Collinsville High School, and I spent all my time there until I was about 18 years old. And I played in bands when I was in high school, and played all kinds of music, alt country, punk rock music, you name it. We played all kinds of stuff. I played in jazz band, played a lot of shows. Probably played 100 shows before I left there at that age, and there were a lot of bands like in those days, and it was really cool seeing what was happening back then.
And then did you go to Mizzou? Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah.
I did go to Mizzou, and we had a band down there for years called Al Holliday and the Lucky Stars, and we played a lot of this kind of music of soul and R&B music with the horn section, and we actually had cut a record back then, and we had a really good time in our time in Columbia.
Yeah, I was trying to do a little homework, and I was reading through your site, and I saw that album, Soul Supper, and that's the first I had heard of that album. So I was it intrigued me. I was like, what to find out about this. I saw it was out of print and stuff, but I really enjoy listening to some artists might not be quite as proud of early stuff or and things like that, but I love going back and hearing early recordings and even like demo stuff, and like hearing how artists have evolved, and even if it's something completely different, I just love kind of having where they came from and where they are now and all that stuff. It's just for me, it's as a fan, it's a lot of fun to follow all that.
That's really cool. Shane. I appreciate that, man. I think I have a couple copies laying around the house here. I'll have to show you before you get out of here.
Yeah.
But there are probably a handful of copies left that I have, and so I know we had one in our merch case, but Miss Molly Sims bought the last one that we had. She wanted to hear "My Name Is Al."
Yeah. There's a band, I kind of mentioned them off mic there, that there's a group I like out of Wichita, More Than an Arbuckle, and they started as a duo. They've added full drums now, but they play as a three-piece, and it's a lot of just blues guitar and harmonica, and really, really great band. But they same kind of thing. They had an early album that it was just the two of them, and they cut a long time ago, and it was out of print and all this stuff. I found it online, and I was talking to them about it. I was like, "Hey, what about this?" And they're like, "Oh man, we haven't had that stock in a long time. We got like 10 copies at the house, maybe." And I was like, well, "Can I get could you send me that?" He's like, "We'll see what we can do." And so they sent me a copy, and I love it. I mean, like I said, as a fan, I enjoy all that. So it was really cool that they did that for me. Like I said, it only had a couple of personal copies left, and they sent me one. So
very cool, man.
Yeah. So that's so this is your second. Natural Remedies is your second record with Eastside Rhythm Band, then, right?
That's right.
So how would you? How we feel we evolved since the first record? You feel like anything's different, or just?
Yeah, I feel like some things are different. Definitely.
I know you added a couple of ladies.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We did. We had Miss Emily Wallace and Miss Molly Sims working with us on this project, which they're both incredible singers in their own right. So it was so cool to have them on board with this project, and they play with us basically every time we play out now, which is really cool. So there are 9 of us in our crew, which is whenever you know that you can field a baseball team out of your band, you know that you have a lot of people.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, those two, I'm a big fan of them individually as a solo artist, but it was very cool to see them join the group and and then singing backups with the band and stuff with you. And but yeah, you got a world class band behind you. Like it's some incredible musicians that play with you, and it's a lot of fun to watch, man. I remember was I don't know, was that spring or something, summer maybe, whatever it was. We had that big party down at Old Rock House. What was that? I forget the name of the festival.
Summer Girl?
Summer Girl, yeah, there it is. I guess whole summer, yeah. I go to a lot of shows, so they all start to run together sometimes. But I remember seeing it was you guys and Funky Butt and the Big Brother Thunder and the Master Blasters inside, and that was a fantastic party, man. That was just inside, and then outside you got Dumpster Funk and Mark Brozard and or how is that how you say it?
Might be Mark Broussard.
Broussard or something, but yeah, it was just that was a great day, but that was a good party, man, to watch all. That was actually my first time seeing Big Brother Thunder and the Master Blasters live, and I was blown away. They were really great too.
Oh yeah, man, that was a really cool thing that they put on by the Old Rock House. That's the second year they've done that, and it ends up being a really cool time anytime where we can all get together and play. And I always love events like that because it's nice because a lot of times whenever us musicians we stay really busy and on like an event like that or on Funk Fest, it's really cool whenever we all get to hang out with each other and play together and like listen to each other's bands and stuff. So
sure, yeah, it's that's kind of the vibe I get from a lot of music. Like that's why so many people love doing like Coachella and all these big giant festivals because they get to hang with all their buddies and stuff. So it's that's cool. And like I said, it's hard to get out to see them all whenever you're working too, and you're playing on the other side of town and stuff. So, but yeah, those events are fun. And I like seeing people will jump on stage and this guest appearances and things that kind of stuff that happens. That's always a fun moment.
Yeah, man. Like that was just a perfect example. Is that whenever we just did a tribute to Alan Toussaint down at the Old Rock House? Were you there for that?
I missed that one. I think it was one of those nights when there was like 30 shows going on in town, and it was I don't know. I really kicked myself for that. I have to choose between some of the shows. I have to, but.
It's either you or Beetle Bob at either of these shows, and Beetle Bob was at this one. So
okay, yeah.
you got the night off.
Yeah, I do draw a lot of comparison to Beetle Bob that we do go run to a lot of the same shows and things. Another guy's Ralph goes to a lot of Urge and El Monstero and all those shows.
The dude with the hat.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I mean everybody knows and that's the thing Beetle Bob looks like he's in the Beatles, and Ralph has his hat and things. So all they have, their little costumes and whatever. They have their thing, and So I was like, man, maybe I need a thing. Maybe I need to get a hat or something. So
I always recognize you wearing that hat.
Yeah, well, I wear the Cardinal hat a lot. I like to represent my my hometown here, and but yeah, I need to step it up, I guess. Get some kind of thing going.
You got to go to Levine Hats on 14th and Washington.
Yeah,
I'm in the process of getting a sponsorship from them.
Yeah, wait, that's what I'm doing. I just figure if I drop out like Steve's Hot Dogs name enough and everything else, maybe I'll get some some sponsors or some hot dogs at the worst case. So
free hot dog once in a while.
Yeah,
he's right down the street. You just go ask him.
Yeah, I like to. What I like to do on this show a lot of times too is like anytime a name comes out like that, I always like to say, proud sponsor of the Rock Paper Podcast. It's like just hoping one of these days it all works. But yeah, man, with hats, man, it's hard. It's funny for me. It's hard to find hats. I have a giant head, so
dude, what size hat is that right there?
This is 8 3/4, I believe.
Good God.
8 1/4.
Oh, 8 1/4.
All right.
I was gonna say 8 3/4. Like that's a whole nother thing.
I hadn't bought a hat in a while, so I forgot I was. But yeah, I knew it was big up there.
Yeah. Man. Yeah. I wear an 8, so I think that I have a pretty big head. Yeah, a pretty good size head. So.
There's a place, hats and stuff on Del Mar. They proud sponsor of the Rock Paper Podcast, hats and stuff. I've been going there because they carry a lot of larger 8 and up hats, and but they only typically carry St. Louis Cardinal ones, and usually a couple different colors, but yeah, red is probably the most popular and things. So yeah, it's a struggle, man. It's
I'm telling you, yeah, man. You should check out Levine. They got Apple. They got big Apple hats. That's what I like to rock out of Levine. I don't know if you ever seen me wear one of those before.
Sure. Yeah.
But they got, because it's tough finding hats when you're a bigger dude like me or you, like a taller dude. You know, that's like you go 6'3", maybe 6 foot.
Yeah, just a little 6'3" and a little bit. Almost I say 6'4", but I like to round up.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, they'll get you straightened out. You go to Levine Hat Company, proud sponsor of Al Holliday and Eastside Rhythm Band.
Yeah, we brought up the record here a little while back.
Man.
If you haven't listened to the show, there's a lot of crazy tangents usually happen, and I try to hone it back in, but
absolutely,
it's a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
But man, I was listening to the album, and really great stuff, man. I like it a lot. I also saw you on the STL Up late doing that Natural Remedies. That's one of my favorites on the album, and I just love the opening, the line I was telling my mom on the way down. It's been stuck in my head since listening to it. That I eat more cornbread. So exactly, is there how much cornbread is that?
Well, thanks so much, Shane. Thanks, I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm so glad with this record, how it all came out. We had such a good time making it, and I'm so excited about what came out with. My favorite part of a lot of this record, besides that, is the tunes. And this tune is funny, but I literally I'm very if you notice in that tune, I wrote about being hungry.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that I talk about a lot on this record is being hungry. Like I say something about I was born with a fork and knife in my hands. Yeah. Things about I'm as hungry as a man can be, and that's the thing is that I've been getting really hungry, and I got this thing where I'm just really hungry all the time, so anyhow I was working one day and I had made some cornbread in my cast iron skillet, and it was so good, and I just was working all afternoon and I literally ate the entire thing of cornbread, and then I just was playing and working on something, and I started singing that, and then that's just it's kind of like rolling the ball down the hill, you know what I'm saying? It just the rest of that song came out, you know. So, that's about as much, but that's it. Some people, whenever you write a song, you can kind of stretch a truth and you can talk about make up certain situations. But I really legitimately eat a lot of cornbread.
Yeah. Based on a true story.
Mm-hmm.
The other one that really stood out to me was "Come True." I really liked the line, "My baby don't want no diamond ring. She just wants to listen to Albert King." Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good line there too.
Oh, man. Thanks so much, man. Thank you, man.
So these little, obviously it's all good, but those lines will pop out to me, and I'm a big fan of songwriting and things, and but I was just like, man, that's a great line. So
thank you, man. Thank you. It's true too. Another thing that is legitimately true, and my girlfriend Emily, she's awesome. We live together here, and we've been together for years now, and we talk a lot about. We really agree on lots of stuff. Some things we don't agree on, but we were talking about how people buy each other $10,000 engagement rings, and she's just like, if you buy me a $10,000 engagement ring, I'm gonna beat the hell out of you.
Yeah.
I always really appreciate that her
Yeah.
sensibility on those sorts of things, and she really does like to listen to Albert King.
Yeah.
And so I think that just kind of wrote itself as well.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with someone Albert King.
Mm-mm.
What got you into? Like, was it your parents' records and stuff getting you into blues and soul stuff? Or
Yeah. You know, there's a lot of music in my house when I was growing up, and my folks they actually met working at a music store in Belleville called B&G Music, and my dad used to teach my mom how to play guitar, and they both worked down there, and my mom's family has a lot of people that play music in it, and my grandparents on my dad's side, they both loved listening to music. They'd go dance at polka music and stuff like every weekend night, and so that's my folks listen to a lot of music, and my dad got me a guitar, showed me how to play guitar, and definitely brought me up on all that stuff, exposed me to a lot of different kinds of music, and he always had really cool CDs, like he had Professor Longhair CD and all this stuff, and there's this set of CDs that he had that was called The Top of the Stacks, and it was a 2 CD set, and it was just like all the best like records off Stax Records,
Yeah.
and I basically stole all of his CDs from back in the day and like destroyed the jewel cases and scratched the CDs all to hell. But those were the two that like I really liked, and you know, about 15 years old I started listening to that, and and he told me all about Stax Records, and you know, after that I really started to get into that, and you know, whenever I became to be about 18, 19 years old, I realized that that's like the kind of music that I want to play.
Yeah.
Is soul and R&B music.
Stax has been. I mean, they're still around. Doing a lot of great stuff. It's just been a little quiet of late, but now they got a great record with Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats. Man, he's on Stax Records. And, and that's a killer record too. Man.
Yeah,
he's a lot of fun to watch. I went to that Ready Room show and saw him play there, a sold out crowd, and it was a lot of fun.
Wow, wasn't he on like a show or something like that? Was he on a TV show?
Yeah, he went on Fallon in the summer when Son of a Bitch hit on the radio and stuff, and then he got a Fallon appearance, and that really things really started taking off after being on Tonight Show and stuff, and but yeah, guys, he's really great, and the band is real tight behind him, and they I don't know, I expect big things coming that way. I mean, he's got a great sound, and it's cool that, I mean, it's only going to open up the door for guys like yourself and everybody else that are, that type of music, Stax Records and stuff is getting commercialized like it is, getting played on, The Point and stuff. I mean, that's where, that show is sponsored by The Point and things.
Oh, wow.
So they're playing Nathaniel's music, and, like I said, they're only going to introduce people more and more to, that there's a lot more great music coming out that sounds, in that similar vein. That's one thing that really bothers me a lot with music today. Like, people will say, I like, if I like classic rock stuff, I like, this, but, well, it doesn't matter, when, what type of music you like. There's other people like that music, and they're making music. Like, if you like classic rock, there's bands like, some of my personal favorites. There's like Rival Sons coming out. Like, they're newer, younger guys, but they sound like they're right out of the 70s, Led Zeppelin and everything and stuff. So it's like saying, there's guys making great music today, brand new music that's, has those hints of flavor from the 60s and 70s and whatever. So
yeah, that's the way I feel about the Alabama Shakes, and and it's nice to hear them played on a radio station like 105.7, and it's real music that they're playing on there. So
right, yeah, it's not all auto-tuned or whatever. So it's real people using real instruments, right? It's
very cool, my man. Very cool. Have you been down to Stax, by the way?
No, I haven't been there.
It's really cool. I've actually been twice. I was just there when I was in Memphis just this past couple of weeks. And I had about an hour, and it's not nearly enough time to spend down there, but I can't recommend going there enough. It's a really cool museum, and they were actually talking about the label and stuff like that because, how that's worked, and so the people there are really knowledgeable about all that stuff and the history of Stax Records, and there's lots of really cool stuff. You see Isaac Hayes' Cadillac, like Otis Redding's, like all of his some of his clothes, and Ike and Tina Turner stuff, and it's not just Stax, it's all kinds of stuff. So I was actually just down in Memphis. I was at Sam Phillips recording studio getting our lacquers cut, and it was very cool to go to Sam Phillips studio. He actually had bought this. It was basically a state of the art studio he had bought in 1960 whenever he sold the contract to sell Elvis Presley, the rights to record Elvis Presley, and so. It hasn't there's a guy named Jeff Powell that does work out there now, but it was really cool to get our lacquers cut by Jeff in this place where he was telling me about how they cut like Wooly Bully in the studio and like all kinds of Bob Dylan records and Jeff Walker and Jerry Lee Lewis and all kinds of stuff down there. So that was a really cool experience, and it was a very cool experience to get to see them lacquers get cut as well.
Sure. Yeah, I've spent a little time. I've never done too much in Memphis. We went to Graceland years ago.
Oh man, I've never been to Graceland.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah, we went through. Obviously, with a last name like Presley, we got to go visit and see where it all comes from. But it was cool, man. Like it was, it's nice that it's like a time capsule. It's like everything's like preserved, like the 70s or whatever, and or even before that, like there's like shed carpet on the walls and stuff like that. It's just a very interesting experience, and I don't remember a ton of it because I still, I was like 14 or something, maybe somewhere around there, but It was definitely an experience. I recommend if you're especially being a fan and stuff, it's worth stopping by.
Yeah, for sure. I got to go there next time I get down that ways.
Yeah, I've always been wanting to go to like Memphis in May and do that kind of stuff.
Yep.
I've never done that either, and but yeah, even just for the barbecue.
Yeah.
So I need to do some of that. But.
Yeah, it took us about 4 hours to get down there actually.
Yeah.
So it's not far.
Yeah, we ran down. Me and my wife ran down to Nashville one night, and I know it's not too much difference there, but we went down for it was a Capitol Records street party thing they had.
Really?
And it was Alan Jackson headlined it. It was a free show, and it was Alan Jackson, Eric Church, Eric Pasley, and John Party, and I was like a free Alan Jackson show and Eric Church, and I was like, that sounds like a party to me. I'll drive. So we went down, we got a hotel room for the night, and got right up front because we knew it was going to be packed in the streets there. But we got to see Alan Jackson from about 15 feet back or something like that. And,
that's cool, man.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I need to go spend some time in Memphis and check out some of the blues and everything else down there. And I like doing that. So, like you said, mentioned about the Stax Museum and all that stuff. Yeah, I like doing my homework. Like I said, seeing where this artist was inspired by somebody before them and all that kind of stuff, and kind of I've been doing a lot of like that as a fan, rediscovering music today that was 40, 50, 60 years old and stuff, but just who somebody else was influenced by, and just kind of rediscovering everything backwards and finding some really great stuff. And
I always tell like some of the students I teach, I say, if you are really into somebody, don't just listen to them.
Right.
Listen to what they were listening to, because that's where you're going to find what inspired them.
Yeah. Who is that for you? Who's some guys that you really?
Oh man. We were over here talking about, and I know we just talked about how you're a big fan of songwriting, and I really consider myself the same way, and I feel like some of the main people that inspired me when I was younger were people like Bob Dylan and Neil Young and people like that.
Yeah.
But as far as that, like, there's so many other artists that I'm inspired by Jerry Lee Lewis, and I'm inspired by Sly and the Family Stone.
Sure.
And I really like artists that like Sly and Family Stone, that they kind of just do whatever they want. They you don't really realize it because but at that time so many of the songs that were coming out were like they were almost formulaic, like where they're not so much like verse chorus as they were, but they were like more like AABA, like jazz songs and tunes, if you will. Mm-hmm. And they're just like, well, instead of doing that, we're just gonna like sit on this one chord and just like hang out for a while, and then we're just gonna go up to this other chord and do this other thing. And like I think that's really cool. And whenever artists, they just started to like just use their ideas and make songs with those. So if you listen to some Dr. John records, they're a lot like that as well. The ones he made with Alan Toussaint and the Meters, like Decitively Bonnaroo and In the Right Place. But I love those guys as artists. I really like Van Morrison. I don't know if I already said that. But I also really like Leon Russell. Yeah.
Seen Leon a few times.
Yeah, he's incredible. And it all comes back to me for all these people is their songs. I mean, and I love their style and the way they play and the way they sing and all these sorts of things. But I mean, their songwriting, like their songs, will still be good in 500 years. I mean, and that's to me like what it really is about whenever I listen to somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me and my dad, we saw Leon not too long ago. Whenever a couple years, maybe 5 years ago, but it was he played at the Voodoo Lounge and
I was there.
Harrah's Casino.
I was there.
Yeah, and it was just, it was really cool to see him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even as he's getting older, he still sounded great and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got do you remember Chris Simmons play guitar?
Chris Simmons, yeah.
Man, I love his stuff, man. That guy he's just fantastic. So
yeah, that dude is awesome. I haven't really been keeping tabs on him. And did you see him? I couldn't tell if he was with him whenever he was at the old Rock House last time he came through.
Well, I know Leon just played Ready Room, like
right. I missed that
a couple months ago.
Yeah.
I know Chris. I don't remember if he was at the old Rock House or not, but I know he recently stepped down from playing with Leon.
Oh, really?
And I don't know if it was just to focus more on his solo stuff or whatever was going on. Because that was cool about Leon's show, is it kind of gave Leon a break in the middle where Chris would do a few solo tunes and then they would come kick back in with some Leon. But yeah, man, I think he's got two full-length albums, and he's got like a Christmas EP or something that he put out. And I really like what he does, and he does a Johnny Cash cover on his record. He calls it "Run On," but it's I think Johnny had it as like God's gonna
cut you down.
Yeah, God's gonna cut you down. It's you're gonna run on for a long time. You can run on for a long time. But yeah. Chris does a really cool cover of that, really like a little more blues to it, and it just sounds great. But I haven't really seen much of him lately. I know he tours, kind of bouncing around. He lives down in like Alabama, and he does more regional, local stuff.
Right.
And I hit him up on Facebook every now and then. I'm just like, hey man, come up to St. Louis, come. So I'd love to see him play.
Yeah, he played at a place called the Wood Nickel in Glen Carbon a few years back. I wasn't able to make it out to the show, and that's like, I don't know if I've ever heard of anybody playing music there.
Yeah.
They have some good grub down there, and it's like in Old Town Glen Carbon, Illinois.
Yeah.
But it was kind of funny that he's been through here as a solo thing before, but I'm not sure how he got hooked up with that, but. Yeah, man, I definitely want to support that dude. I got to listen to his records. I'm glad you mentioned that though, because that dude is awesome.
Yeah. He's but that's the fun of it, man. I like it's going out and supporting live entertainment. You never know who you're going to see or meet and what who's gonna introduce you to the next artist, or who especially like a lot of times it's the opening bands that I discover somebody really great that I love. And I mentioned to my mother on the way down, we went to I went up to see J.J. Gray Mofro in Kansas City at Knuckleheads, and Anderson East opened up for him, and Anderson's one of those guys just on fire right now. It helps a lot that his new record was produced by Dave Cobb, and Dave Cobb's done Chris Stapleton's new record and Jason Isbell's last 2 albums, and I mean he's just been cranking out hits. And Anderson's not quite. He's kind of been lumped in with country lately. Like he's been, like Rolling Stone gave him some kind of write up about being a country next thing. But he's definitely not country. He's a soul singer. He's got horns in the band and stuff. There's not a lot of horns in country music and stuff. But but yeah, man, the guy's having things that are taking off for him right now, and so he's another one. If you, I think you might enjoy. So
yeah, man.
He's got a real cool rasp to his voice and things, but it was just like that, man. It's I kind of discovered him before going. I usually like I said through the internet, find somebody, I'll start YouTube search and all that stuff and try to see what I'm getting myself into. But I love going out and discovering new music all the time. And I think you were. I think we took a weird tangent, but I think you said something about you mentioned Alan Toussaint as a influence, but I think you were going to mention about that tribute show you did. And
yeah, that was a really cool thing. Matter of fact, I'd like to play that song whenever we get some time for it. But Alan Toussaint's always been a huge inspiration to me. I mean, the man must have written over 1,000 songs, and I consider him to be one of the most prolific music makers in modern history. And not only that, he had his hand in some of the coolest music ever made, which is New Orleans R&B, and it basically touched the vast majority of that music that is known by us. But anyhow, he had passed, and suddenly he had a heart attack. They have just a great amount of respect for that dude. He was just always seemed to be a very gentle, genuine, good human being, and a really good songwriter. And he was doing his thing up until the day that he died, which was really cool. And I just really respect. You hear a lot of stories about people in music business, and their lives don't turn out as nicely as that. You know what I mean? But I guess that couldn't have happened to a nicer person. But so I've always really liked his work, and some of the records he made are some of my favorite records ever. A huge inspiration, like I mentioned, the Dr. John records that, and all of the things that he's done. And when he passed, I was actually working on a project with some other folks. And I said, oh man, it'd be really cool to do some Alan Toussaint. Not a lot of people around here really do that. Some Lee Dorsey, some other stuff like this. And then he happened to have just passed away right then. And it was crazy because I was up to my knees and working on Alan Toussaint stuff. But Dave Grelly did an awesome job of getting a really cool crew together for this event. It was at the Old Rock House in the middle of December. It was us, Funky Butt, North of the Quarter, a band called Funky Dragons with Tim Halpin. Big Mike was there. And then there was a super group with The Feed and Emily Wallace and Andy Shadburn and all kinds of people. Just a serious who's who of people in the St. Louis music scene all came together in this Funky Butt horns, and they put on this performance of all Alan Toussaint's material. We did some songs. We did Peace Brother Peace by Dr. John. We did Holy Cow. We did a song by Jesse Hill called I Got Mine, where he's talking about I've been living off chicken and wine. I don't know if you're familiar with Jesse Hill, and we did another tune. We did a song called What Do You Want the Girl to Do? And I actually got to do a song called Freedom for the Stallion by Alan Toussaint. I did it solo. And to me, I was listening to it, and what he talks about in that song, it's one of those things where it's like terrifying how like relevant that it still is today. Like the things that he was talking about, what's happening in the world, and it's just like it just is enough to like give you chills to even think about it. And I just it was really cool. I got to play that solo, and then I got to play with all that super group. It was like another really cool thing that this was a benefit that actually benefited Alan Toussaint's charity, which is helps people with homelessness and hunger in New Orleans, and a representative of his charity actually came up and played with the band that night, and so that was a really cool thing to have them in like to represent.
For sure.
So
very cool, man.
Yeah. That was all Dave Grelly, man. Dave Grelly did an awesome job.
You mentioning Big Mike and Funky Butt Horns and stuff. That Big Mike opened your CD release party, right?
Yeah.
And then also I noticed on the notes that you had Adam Huckey on made a guest appearance on your three tracks on the album.
He actually played on let's see here. I think he played on 5 tracks on our record.
5?
Matter of fact, Adam Huckey was he ran the lights at our show.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I was like, somebody's doing an awesome job running the lights. And it was actually Adam Huckey running the lights all night at our record release party. But yeah, Adam he played on about 5 of our tracks. Adam and I get along with him really well. I just love that dude, and we had a trumpet player leave the group about this time last year, about February or so, and we went into the studio to start cutting our record in April, and so I just called Adam Huckey immediately because we needed somebody to play the trumpet, and I like that dude destroys everybody when he picks up the trumpet, and so it was really good to have him play on the record and work with him, and he's incredible. So you can hear him on about half that record. We actually picked up a dude after that session. Shortly after that session, we picked up a dude named Ryan Torpia, a young dude, just 20 years old, to play the trumpet for us, and he's been with us ever since. And so, like, he's a member of our crew full time right now, and so he cut the rest of our record with us.
Okay. Oh yeah, I just saw Adam play. Him and Aaron came out and played a tune with El Monstero at the Sunday show, so that was a lot of fun to see my buddies up there, and I don't know, it's really, I mean, just that whole El Monstero show, like to become friends with those guys now. Like I've had several of the members on the show, and it's just so even now more so. I mean, I've always been a fan of everything they're doing up there. I've seen like show the last 3 years, but now they've become more of like a personal connection, having becoming friends with these guys, and then seeing Funky Butt and those guys up there too, and like last year Connor played up there with them, and Connor Lau and all these guys that it's just a lot of fun, and to see all my friends involved in it too. So.
Yeah, I got to see that show. I've actually never seen that show before.
Oh man, I went twice this year. So it's a really good time, and I mean, I'm not like the biggest Pink Floyd fan. I mean, I do love some Pink Floyd, but it's not like I'm not some super fan. But the the spectacle of the show is just it's top notch Vegas quality, style. Cirque du Soleil type thing, and it's just unreal what they put together there.
Yeah, I can tell just by the few pictures I've seen of their show that it's incredible, and like it's there's not a production really like that around.
And you get it for like $25 at the pageant, so compared to something on Vegas probably be $100 to or whatever, at least or something like that, but. So yeah, it's an unreal show, man. It's just, and they're all that's the best part. They're all local. They're all local people putting on something cool for the city here. So, and the city's been showing up, man. I think they sold out every show, and they did 6 of them this year. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, dude, good for those guys, man. That's good.
Thinking of Adam, also. there's a video just popped up online the other day with him and from the Funky Butt Christmas party, the Breaststravaganza, and they were doing Crazy Sleigh. Did you see that video?
Dude, I love that song. Like we'll like roll out to gigs and we were like listening to that song 10 times in a row.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about a spectacle, I mean, Breaststravaganza is like right up there.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Breaststravaganza is incredible.
I missed. I mean, every year it's like, well, that's the thing. Like they go against El Monstero a lot too. They're always right on that same weekend before Christmas and stuff. And I wanted to go. They did it's like Friday, Saturday, and a Friday night I was at El Monstero, and then Saturday something else. I really want to go. Well, Saturday was sold out, and then so it was it's too late on that one. But yeah, I mean, that's another. It's on the list. I really got to go. I kick myself again for missing so many great shows, but you know it's hard to be everywhere.
Yeah, man, that's what we have here in our community, man.
Yeah, it's cool. It's exciting times for St. Louis music for sure. But yeah, that from that video. I loved that so much, watching them do Crazy Sleigh, and they had Jerry Jost from the Urge playing guitar this year, and I saw some video of Emily there singing some Mariah Carey and stuff, just killing it. And,
Yeah, Emily Wallace is destroying everybody as well. Like whenever she played our gig with us, and she played at the pageant, then she ran across town, played with our band. And then she fronted the entire the super group band the whole rest of the night. It's like, dude, that girl is killing it.
Yeah.
You had her on the show recently, right?
No, I haven't had Emily on the show.
No. Oh, really?
No, I'm hopefully soon. We've been talking, so just trying to, like you said, right there in that perfect example of what she's been up to. She's very busy.
Yeah.
Always running around.
Yeah.
She's in high demand right now. Everybody wants some Emily Wallace to come play their shows and stuff. So, but yeah, I've been working trying to get her on the show, and even yourself, man. I've been trying. It's been a kind of a long time in the making.
Man.
But so and sometimes it's just timing wise. Like for this, it worked out nicely with. The new record's out now, and we got some, plenty to promote here. So yeah, it's just some of them take a little more time. It's just hard to get all the schedules worked out, and that's why I try to make it easy, like this coming to you and coming to your home here. This is and thanks for having us here.
Yeah, man. Anytime, man. I appreciate it.
So you're a regular over at Beale and Oyster Bar, and you have been playing Oyster Bar with a new project, right?
Right. I've been working on a project with Neil Salsic, John Hasson, Mike Morano, and Charlie Serpa, all incredible dudes. And they're playing. They got this this group called Southern Exposure, plays all New Orleans funk and New Orleans music. And it's been really cool to work with those guys on that project. And we have something, we're going to be pretty active during Mardi Gras. We have one thing we're doing. We're going to be playing at the Broadway Oyster Bar on February 5th, the night before Parade Day. We've had so many nasty parade days. 20 degrees, 10 degrees, 30 mile an hour winds and more, man. It is crazy. I think we're due for a nice Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
I think we are. So I'm looking forward to this Mardi Gras.
Yeah. And you play usually like monthly at Beale or something?
We had in the past played monthly at Beale, and that's been like the one regular gig we've held down in St. Louis over the last about year or so. And Bud has been really cool bringing us on board. Love working with the crew over there at the Beale on Broadway. But we've been kind of laying low. We had, and since October, we hadn't played at the Beale, and we've been laying low for the release of our record. And since then, we haven't played either. We actually have a gig coming up at the Beale on January 22nd. It's going to be a really special event. We have a lot of things worked up for everybody. We're going to feature our singers on the whole night. Just as long as we can all fit up there.
Yeah.
We're gonna just don't tell the fire marshal. There's gonna be 9. There's gonna be 9 of us up there.
Right.
But we're gonna be playing a lot of original material that night. We look to play everything from our first record, everything from our new record, and so that's gonna be a really good time. And we'll see what we do. We do love playing at our clubs on South Broadway, and I love hanging out on South Broadway.
Yeah.
But we're gonna, after we play that date, and we have one other date in February. It's just February 6th. We're playing at the Old Rock House with Funky Butt Brass Band and maybe even Southern Exposure on Parade Day in St. Louis. The one cool place to hang out in St. Louis during Parade Day, if you ask me. With genuinely good music, and so after that we're going to kind of be laying low again until we get our vinyl records in April, and we're going to have a big party for when we get our vinyl records in.
Yeah, man, that sounds great. So right now, Natural Remedies is available on CD and iTunes, Spotify if you want to stream it, and you can go to holidaymusic.com and purchase a copy through the store there, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Or come out to those shows and we'll gladly sell you a copy there, right?
Yes, sir. Oh yeah. Big time, my brother.
Yeah. Well, man, we'll look to wrap this thing up. You want to play something?
Let's do it, Shane.
All right. Well, stick around for some Al Holliday tunes.
Hey, this is Al Holliday, and you listen to the right. My bad.
Yeah, that's all right. Keep going.
Freedom for the stallion, freedom for the mare and a colt, freedom for the baby tramp who will not live long enough to vote. Lord have mercy, what you gonna do about the people who are praying to you? You got men making laws that destroy other men. They make money gone, it's a doggone sin. Oh Lord, you gotta help us find a way. Each ship's a sailing, slaves all chained and bound, headed for another land. There are some cat says he up and found. Lord have mercy, what you gonna do about the people who are praying to you? You got men making laws that destroy other men. They make money gone, it's a doggone sin. Oh Lord, you gotta help us find a way. Got
Yeah, do what you're gonna do now.
Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast, y'all.